Welcome to the Martha Bassett Show, coming to you from the historic Reeves Theater in Elkin, North Carolina, a home for music in the heart of the foothills. The Martha Bassett Show features national artists, local talent, and the music of Martha Bassett. Tonight on the show, we welcome Ben de la Cour, Tui, and Sarah Kate Morgan. It's a great night with some of the finest Americana music you'll hear. Now, let's have a big hand for Martha and the band, performing the Woody Guthrie song, Do, Re, Mi.
Thousands of folks back east, they say, leaving home every day, beating the hot old dusty way to the California line. Across the desert sands they roll, trying to get out of the old dust bowl. They think they're coming to a sugar bowl, but here is what they find. The police at the port of entry say, your number 14,000 for today. Oh, if you ain't got that do, re, mi, folks, you ain't got the do, re, mi. Well, you better hang on in beautiful Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Georgia, Tennessee. California is a garden of Eden, a paradise to live in or see. But believe it or not, you won't find it so hot if you ain't got that do, re, mi. Or take your vacation by the mountains or the sea. Don't trade your old cow for a car. You better stay right where you are. You better take this little tip from me, 'cause the governor on the radio today jumped up to the microphone and he did say, oh, you ain't got that do, re, mi, folks. You ain't got the do, re, mi. Well, you better hang on in beautiful Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Georgia, Tennessee. California is a garden of Eden, a paradise to live in or see. But believe it or not, you won't find it so hot if you ain't got that do, re, mi. If you ain't got that do, re, mi, folks, you ain't got the do, re, mi. Why, you better hang on in beautiful Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Georgia, Tennessee. California is a garden of Eden, paradise to live in or see. But believe it or not, you won't find it so hot if you ain't got that do, re, mi. Thank you. You might notice a new band member on the stage. This is Sarah Kate Morgan. She drove all the way from Kentucky to be with us today. And I would like to introduce you to Jake Blunt and Libby Whitenauer, who make up the internationally touring old-time duo Tui. Although old time is where they have landed in their music, their experiences and influences are quite diverse, and collectively it makes their music delightfully unique, and you will hear that tonight. So will you please welcome me in joining Tui?
you all so much. Thanks to Sarah Kate Morgan for playing that one with us. That was a Peggy Seeger song called Wedding Dress. And this next song we're going to play for you, or tune rather, is a fiddle tune called Cross Key. And I learned this from the playing of a Kentucky fiddler named Emma Lee Dickerson. And sort of mid-pandemic, her granddaughter reached out to me on Facebook and was like, people know my grandmother's music? It's like, I do, and I love it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. So, where are you from? Libby, you want to start first?
I'm from Maryville, Tennessee, but I'm living in Nashville, Tennessee right now.
And I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, but I'm living in Smithfield, Virginia right now.
In Smithfield, Virginia. And I understand that you met in Brooklyn on a rooftop jam. Is that correct?
Close. We met in Brooklyn. Our friend Ian Tran has an amazing loft there. I lived in New York for 4 years, and we had just met at this birthday party playing tunes and playing a tune, and had a terrible time playing together.
Such that we both stopped and we're done for the night. That was it.
And then the next time we played together, it was great. So.
And where was the second time you met?
Black Creek Fiddlers Reunion.
Yeah, Black Creek Fiddlers Reunion. Yeah, also in New York.
Okay. What does the name Tui mean? Where does that come from?
Tui is a bird that they have over in New Zealand, and we chose that because our first time playing together in any formal capacity was on a tour in Australia and New Zealand, and we both love birds. And we our ear was caught by this bird that makes the craziest sounds, lots of chirping and hissing, and it makes this large array of sounds. And we were
Can you imitate it?
Yeah, and we were like, that's us. We just did. You just heard it. So, anyways, that's Tui.
Well, you sound wonderful. Very bird-like. I've never heard the Tui bird, but I'm going to look it up tonight when I get home. What would you like to do next?
We're going to play a version of Make Me a Pallet on Your Floor that's on our album, and which is for sale. It comes from, I learned it right off of a CD that Paul Brown and Mike Seeger have called Way Down in North Carolina. And Paul Brown learned this song from his mom. So. One, two, three, four.
We are proud to have Wake Forest Baptist Health as the exclusive healthcare sponsor of the Martha Bassett Show. Through every stage and at every age, Wake Forest Baptist Health is here for you and your family, supporting life, health, and well-being. With more than 300 primary care and specialty locations throughout the region, and a world-class team providing comprehensive care in cancer, orthopedics, cardiovascular health, and more, they are here to serve you. More at wakehealth.edu. Wake Forest Baptist Health. Care for life. Now, would you please give a big hand to Sarah Kate Morgan and her return to the Reeves Theater in Elkin?
Thank you all so much. It's so nice to be back on this stage. This is one of my absolute favorite gigs of all time, mainly because of the really cool and talented house band, and today I get to be part of the house band, which is new. wondering what this weird instrument is that you're hearing, this is called the mountain dulcimer. It's a traditional Appalachian instrument. I'm going to play a hoedown square dance tune called Rockingham Cindy. Thank y'all.
Some of you already know this, but Sarah Kate Morgan was the National Dulcimer Champion in 2013, is that correct? 12. I know you're not surprised. I'd like to sing a song for you that is a cover of a song. It is by the band Low from Minneapolis, and we recorded it on, was it our last record or the one before that?
One before that.
One before. Thank you. Thank you. It's called Holy Ghost. Some Holy Ghost keeps me hanging on, hanging on. Some Holy Ghost keeps me hanging on, hanging on. I feel the hand, but I don't see anyone. I feel the hand, but I don't see anyone. It's there and gone. Feeds my
and something's wrong. But some Holy Ghost keeps me.
Thank you.
The Martha Bassett Show is supported in part by Explore Elkin, your one-stop travel source for the Yadkin Valley and beyond. If you're looking for hometown charm, historic landmarks, Main Street shopping, and fine dining, come stay a while in downtown Elkin. Elkin is a small town with a big community, so whether it's downtown events, music, hiking, or just paddling the Blue Water Trail, let Explore Elkin help you find your trail. You can learn more on Facebook or at exploreelkin.com. Support for the Martha Bassett Show also comes from these fine downtown Elkin businesses: the Elk Pharmacy, Yoga on Main, Coley Hall at the Liberty, Angry Troll Brewing, Yadkin Valley Quilts, Fruition, and the Wisdom Table. Now let's get back to the show with Martha and Ben de la Cour.
Our next guest comes to us from Nashville, but has lived and performed all over the world. His style is described as America noir, and his songs tell stories of both darkness and light. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Ben de la Cour.
I'm a face-down penny on a broke-down bus, too old to roll, too proud to rise. Sitting around choking and cursing at the dust, wondering if anything'll ever look up. The thing about being a face-down penny is you can't look back, can't wonder about anything. Every day looks the same, and it's enough to make a poor boy go insane. Enough to make a poor boy go insane. I'm an old guitar in a white sedan outside a dive bar in Birmingham. Rain's gonna come about 3 a.m. so I can fall asleep and do it all again. The thing about being an old guitar is no one in the world ever cares about where you are. Thibodeau or Bethlehem, or just sitting around waiting in a white sedan. Sitting around waiting in a white sedan. I'm a busted spoke on a little pink bike, lame as a duck and sharp as a knife. Busted spoke on a little pink bike, and I guess I'll be for the rest of my life. The thing about being a busted spoke is even though all of your friends might know you're broke, the wheel still turns the same, and it can all be fixed at the end of the day. It can all be fixed at the end of the day. I'm a face-down penny on a broke-down bus, too old to roll, too proud to rise. Sitting around choking and cursing at the dust, wondering if anything will ever look good. Thank you. Thank you. And Joey bounced like a brick from the 14th floor window. I watched him go silently all the way down, an angel in free fall wearing a hospital gown. And there's snow on the sidewalks, everyone's talking. Their breath billows out just like cigarette smoke. The coroner watches, the cops laugh at all their own jokes. In a bar across the street, Sinatra is singing about sitting on rainbows and a world on a string. From out here where I'm standing, it doesn't sound like anything. Then I watch Joey's family come down from the projects to ID the body, and everyone cries and they all shuffle off to whatever is left of their lives. When I think about how we're so close to the edge, I can feel that cold wind start to blow, and my heart does a swan dive right out of my chest into a river of sorrow. I still think about you in that hot Brooklyn summer when we lived forever, at least for one night, in your leopard print jacket, both hands in the air, dancing circles beneath the streetlight. Just a couple of derelict debutante wonders. How could we know then that it couldn't last? Are you wondering still, trapped tight in the jaws of the past? There was always a darkness, we just couldn't see it. It's a whole other world when you peek through the cracks. You can try to go home, but you never will find your way back. When I think about how we're so close to the edge, I can feel that cold wind start to blow, and my heart does a swan dive right out of my chest into a river of sorrow. I was sat in a pool hall, I was reading the paper, and there'd been a shooting on Riverside Drive the night before Joey came swan diving into our lives. What did he do? what does it matter? They're dead, you're gone, and I'm still right here. The jukebox is broken, and I'm at the bar drinking beer. When I think about how we're so close to the edge, I can feel that cold wind start to blow. And my heart does a swan dive right out of my chest into a river of sorrow. And my heart does a swan dive right out of my chest. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Oh, thank you.
Your songs are so beautiful. It's hard to pull away. There are stories that pull you into them, and you feel like you're part of that narrative. And
I thought you were going to say so long.
No, that's not what I was thinking. So thank you for coming here and sharing them with us
thanks
today.
for having me.
So Ben drove here from Nashville today, but you were born in London. Tell us a little bit about the trajectory of your life.
It was a very crooked trajectory.
Yes.
I was born there, but I left when I was 1. Grew up mostly in Brooklyn until I was 17, and then I kind of started traveling all over the place. And
you played music with your brother, I believe I read.
Yeah, I played music from when we were kids. We played at like CBGBs in New York when we were 11, 12 years old. And then I moved to LA for a year. I lived in New Orleans for like 5 years, and I've been in Nashville for 8 years. Yeah. Kind of took the, well, not scenic route, but, you know. I drove into every traffic jam I could.
It's good to have you on the East Coast.
This is the East Coast, right? Yeah.
So Ben and I met through a mutual friend, Jim White, who was on our show first season, and I was inviting Jim back, and he said, "I'd love to come sometime soon, but I'm producing a record now for this great up-and-coming songwriter named Ben de la Cour. And by the way, you should have him on your show." And without even listening to him, I went ahead and reached out and booked him because Jim White is producing him, so he must be awesome, and I am so not disappointed.
Oh, thank you.
So how did you meet Jim White?
I was a big fan of his music for a long time. And I just kind of, found him on Facebook and thought
he told me backstage that he stalked him online.
Yes, I mean, but I can't say that on a recorded thing.
It's okay.
I can't incriminate myself. So we met, at a tennis singles match, Jim and I, and we were both on the same team, and it was really, I didn't know what to do. And the next thing you know, he's producing my record, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, I stalked him too. I stalked him in person.
Yeah.
And said, Please come on my show.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, I started sending him photographs of the outside of his house, and I was like, "You're gonna make this record or what, Jim?" Yeah. And now we're making a record together. Yeah. Artistic integrity is overrated when you can. Intimidation is the real way to people's hearts, I think. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to invite the band back out to back us up on a couple more of Ben's songs. And while they're coming out, I want to ask you, where do you find the inspiration for these songs? It's almost as if you are an author and you are writing short stories.
Well, you know, I go to a lot of open mics, and then I hear people play these songs, and when I find one I like, I go home and pretend it's mine. Where it's great, it's, riding high on that big folk dollar right now, I need like the showtime at the Apollo cane to just like drag me out. All right, your time's up, dude. All right, we're doing these. This old town's been flatlined now for close on 30 years. And the last to see it coming were the folks who live round here. The creek caught fire again last week. The farms have all shut down. It's gonna be another hard winter in this company town. Some went under slowly, waiting on the weather to change. Some, like Uncle Charlie, found they couldn't take the strain. He pulled up to the bank one Sunday morning in the pouring rain. Scrawled, "I'm sorry, I'm a Wendy's bag," and put a bullet in his brain. In a company town, in a company town, we're all living in a company town. In a company town, in a company town, we're all living in a company town. There's a sinkhole past the cornfields that sucks the good ones in. Man, I know it's there, 'cause when folks leave, we never see them round here again. Now it's hollow-eyed and coyote-faced strangers at the gates, driving brand new pickup trucks without a state license plates. We're scratching out a living, trying to stay above the ground. But you work with what you're given in a company town. In a company town, in a company town, we're all living in a company town. In a company town, in a company town, we're all living in a company town. Yonder on the highway, in some old hand-me-down suit, walks a dream, ground to dust beneath the heel of a rich man's boot. Money bought the farms, money bought the meth, but it won't bring back the good old days or take that bullet out of Charlie's head. company town, in a company town. We're all living in a company town, in a company town, in a company town. We're all living in a company town, in a company. Thank you.
Ben de la Cour.
Yes. An empty world, getting emptier every day. I tried to hold you, but you slipped away. Without you here, I just don't know who I am. I'm just a stranger in this shadow. I can't get to sleep, the room looks all wrong. Revolutionary suicide jazz band plays all night long. Another lonesome satellite, another grain of sand. I'm just a stranger in this shadow. High strangeness in the valley, the mules kicking in the stall, the line in the poets in the truck stop queens up against the factory wall. I bet you never thought that things would get so out of hand. You're just a stranger in this shadow. Time's a stage that keeps turning, keeps turning till it falls apart. All the parts you've been learning, one day they're gonna break your heart. God's hiding in the bushes are on fire. We're all waiting for him to show, but it's coming down to the wire. We followed his instructions the best we know and can, but we're just strangers in this shadow. It's an empty world, man, it's getting emptier every day. The more I talk, the less I have to say. The more I listen, the less I understand. I'm just a stranger in this shadow. I'm just a stranger in this shadow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben de la Cour. Ben will be back on the next set, and it is intermission time, folks, so please go out to the lobby and see what Anna has for sale on the merch table, and refresh your drink if you have one, and we'll see you back here in about 10-15 minutes. Thanks.
Welcome back to the second half of the Martha Bassett Show, featuring Ben de la Cour, Tui, that's Libby Whitenauer and Jake Blunt, and Sarah Kate Morgan. Remember, you can listen to us weekly on 88.5 WFDD. Follow the entire schedule, listen to past radio shows, and subscribe to our podcast at marthabassettshow.com. Our next show is in 2 weeks, on August 19th, and we'll feature Yasmin Williams and Joe Newberry. Now, let's get back to the show with Sarah Kate Morgan singing Lazy Day, made famous by Gene Autry.
Well, I might have gone fishing. I got to thinking it over. But the road to the river is a mighty long way. Well, it must be the season. No rhyme, no reason. And I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day. Well, never mind calling, 'cause I ain't a-coming. Just get you on by me. Stay out of my way. Well, a little deep thinking might drive me to drinking, and I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day. Well, I might have gone fishing. I got to thinking it all over, and the road to the river is a mighty long way. Well, it must be the season. No rhyme, no reason, and I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day. Well, I might have gone fishing. I got to thinking it all over, and the road to the river is a mighty long way. Well, it must be the season, no rhyme, no reason, and I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day. Well, I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day.
Sarah Kate Morgan. Thank you, Sarah Kate. It's always a pleasure to hear you sing. And folks, will you please welcome back to the stage Tui?
I don't want to have to sing after that.
One, two, three. Thank you, Sir Kate.
So I worked in an instrument museum for a while, back when I was in college, and actually spent a very long time cataloging the collection of mountain dulcimers in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, which has a surprising number of dulcimer. I also had to catalog the tuning forks, but that's a much less fascinating story. And I have to say, I kind of thought I'd learned most of the things about the dulcimer, and yet I am learning new things about it tonight. So shout out to Sarah Kate. This is some really incredible playing and singing we're hearing. Now we're going to play one called Pokey Huntus from O.C. and Ernest Helton of Asheville, North Carolina.
Thank you so much. This next one we're going to play is called 8th of January, and it comes from a man named Cooge Bertram, who lived around sort of the Kentucky-Tennessee line, closer to sort of where I live in Tennessee, over on the Cumberland Mountains. This one is also on our only CD together, which is about 2 years old now, which is so hard to believe. We recorded it in Floyd, Virginia, after we got back from that tour that we mentioned over in Australia, and that's when we really got to know each other.
I promise it's worse if I don't tune.
I'm pretty sure our tuning has actually gotten better over the years, so. Speaking of Floyd, I actually think, if I'm correct, Jake's band for his album Spider Tales is going to come through Floyd. When is it that you're going through?
I believe August 29th.
Yeah, so
and
if
the
you
night
enjoy
before,
this.
on the 28th, we're playing at the Isis in Asheville. So if you got any friends in either of those places, would appreciate the boost. Trying to get any shows while I can. Who knows what Rona's doing?
All right, this is 8th of January, and I'm going to try not to play too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4.
One more before we have a little chat with Martha. This one is called
Sounds
Chat
like
with Martha.
It sounds like she's in trouble.
Yeah.
Before we have a little chat.
This is one called A Long Grave and a Short Grave. There's a long grave and a short grave everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. There's a long grave and a short grave everywhere I go. Oh, my Lord, amen. When I meet my mother,
want you to meet yours too. Oh, my Lord, amen. When I get up in heaven, want you to be there too. Want you to be there too. When I get up in heaven, want you to be there too. Oh, my Lord, amen. When I cry out, holy, want you to say so too. Want you to say so too. When I cry out, holy, want you to say so too. Oh, my Lord, amen. There's a long grave and a short grave everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. There's a long grave and a short grave everywhere I go. Oh, my Lord, amen.
Thanks, you guys. That was awesome.
Thank you.
It's time to chat.
our chat with Martha.
You're in big trouble.
So I heard you saying that you've only been together for 2 years. That's kind of amazing. So one of those years we've been in a global pandemic.
That is true. That is true.
It's been a long distance bandmateship.
Yes.
Well, let's back up before that. I'd like to hear a little bit more about your musical backgrounds. I know that, Jake, you did some rock and roll.
Yes.
That's it? That's it?
No, I was a very okay electric guitar player in middle and high school. Yeah.
And then you found your place with the banjo.
Yeah, I guess.
How did you end up with banjo?
Literally by accident.
That's always the way that works.
Yes. No, I ran into this band. I was on my way to like a dubstep concert in DC, and for some reason I stopped in this Ethiopian restaurant, and for some reason in the Ethiopian restaurant, this really great Americana band was playing called Megan Jean and the KFB.
We know them, yes.
I later discovered the Ethiopian restaurant was paying the Americana band in tacos. I'm just continually fascinated by this arrangement. And they were the first indie musicians I'd ever met, and it was the first place I'd ever seen someone play clawhammer banjo. So I went up and talked to them after the show, and this guy, Bern Cly, told me all about the history of the banjo, and I learned, oh, this came out of the community that my ancestors were in Tidewater, Virginia, and in the Chesapeake Bay region overall back in the day, and I just started digging more, and then I started playing.
We're glad you did.
Me too. It's fun.
So, Libby, you started out as a classical violinist, is that correct?
I did, and supposedly I still am a classical violinist. Although I definitely have not played a classical gig in a while. But I started out playing classical as a kid, and actually have a couple degrees in it. But then I got homesick for Tennessee when I was living up in Chicago and started playing old-time music, and it took over my life, and those degrees never get used because all I do is play fiddle music now.
Yes, but you play it with refinement, for sure.
Yes. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but
it is. Oh, and you both have other projects besides working together as a band yourselves?
Yes, I have a solo project actually that I just put out a little EP, but I also have a band. It's kind of like a pop country band, if that sounds like it's up your alley, called Dallas Ugly. We just started during the pandemic, so
okay.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes.
And I just have a solo project just under my name, Jake Blunt. I put out an album during the pandemic, which was a riot, called Spider Tales, that's really digging into the history of Black and Native American old-time music. It's super fun. Got a really fun band on it, and as Libby mentioned, I'm coming to play some of that stuff in this region at the end of August, so check that out.
Well, I also want to point out that you won the Steve Martin Banjo Award last year.
I did.
That's a very big honor.
Thanks, Steve. Made it through the end of my lease because of you.
And got a Subaru.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for the apartment and the car.
And you're also a board member of Bluegrass Pride. Will you tell us about that organization?
Yeah, so Bluegrass Pride is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in the Bay Area, but we're kind of everywhere, and have chapters in a bunch of different cities, and our focus is creating and expanding opportunities for LGBTQ artists in bluegrass and bluegrass-adjacent genres, like old-time, country, folk, what have you. So we've got a lot going on. We just put on these great events the past couple summers called Porch Pride, where we had a bunch of artists from all over the country stream in from their houses. We're able to raise some good money and pay them well at a time when obviously pay was slim for folks in our line of work. So we've been able to do some really good community uplifting that way, and we're excited to get back on our normal programming. I mean...
Yes. Yes. Well, let's bring the band back out, and would you like to tell the folks about our next song?
Yeah, so we're going to sing a song called Do Remember Me. That is one I got out of the American Folk Songs and Ballads book that John Allen Lomax put together. And this music, as I mentioned, is close to family for me. My family's been living in Tidewater, Virginia for as long as history goes back, or at least our history. And this is the first song that I took back down to that farm and played for my grandparents, and they already knew it, which was cool for me. Good. Whoa. I'm in the wrong tuning. Hold up.
I was like, that's not G.
That is so not G. Stall.
We'll wait.
I'm not kidding.
Make
Stall.
small talk.
How do you know there's a banjo player at your front door? Close. He can't find the key. The knocking keeps getting louder, and he doesn't know when to come in. 3 for 1. so sorry. I was having too much fun chatting with Martha.
It's okay. That happens. The chats kind of take over.
I think you have a named segment now. I know you didn't want it, but I think it happened.
We actually call it Martha Chats with 2E on the set list.
It's when you throw an accordion into a dumpster and hit a banjo. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to buy time.
It's okay, I'm not offended. Bass players don't know much about pitch anyway. On that note, I'm gonna hear about that later. All right, this is Do Remember Me. When my blood runs chilly and cold, I've got to go. I've got to go. I've got to go. When my blood runs chilly and cold, I've got to go. Way beyond the blue. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, remember me. If you can't bear no crosses, you can't wear no crown. If you can't bear no crosses, you can't wear no crown. If you can't bear no crosses, you can't wear no crown. Way beyond the moon. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, remember me. The harder your crosses, the brighter your crown. The harder your crosses, the brighter your crown. The harder your crosses, the brighter your crown. Way beyond the moon. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, remember me. Got a mother in the Beulah land. She's calling to me. She's calling to me. She's calling to me. Got a mother in the Beulah land. calling to me, way beyond the moon. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, remember me.
Thank you, Chewy.
When you come to visit us in beautiful downtown Elkin, make sure you buy the shops at 150 East Market Street, where you'll find Dirty Joe's Coffee, the Smoothie Station, Gwynn and Market Mercantile, and the Barkery, home of Melissa's all-natural pet treats. The shops at 150 East Market Street, where you're sure to find something for everyone. We'd also like to welcome our newest sponsor to the Martha Bassett Show, Life Store Insurance, with 7 locations and one right here in downtown Elkin. Life Store Insurance, your North Carolina insurance specialist. Get more info at lifestoreinsurance.com. Here's Martha Bassett.
Thank you. Before this next song, I would like to wish my dear friend Brett Cogan happy birthday. Happy birthday, Brett. So Russell Kelly and I have been in the habit of playing bossa novas for this past year, and we're going to share one with you tonight. And I would like to send it out to my friend Jaulita Sullivan, who is here tonight. Minha amiga. Jaulita. This is called Insensitez. It's from Antonio Carlos Jobim. And in English, as a jazz standard, it is sung as How Insensitive, and it's about the sadness of a love affair being over. But in Portuguese, insensitez means senselessness. What you did to a love so delicate, you are weak and soulless. One who never loved does not deserve to be loved. One who sows wind always reaps storm. And one who does not ask for forgiveness will never be forgiven. Insensitez.
Assim tal desalmado. Ah, meu coração, quem nunca amou não merece ser amado. idade. Quem semeia vento, diz a ração, colhe sempre tempestade. Vai, meu coração, pede perdão, perdão apaixonado. Vai, porque quem não pede perdão não é nunca perdoado.
Russell Kelly. Thank you. Will you please welcome back Ben de la Cour? So I have some interesting dirt on Ben de la Cour. He used to be a boxer. Will you tell us about your history as a boxer? And you lived in Havana for a while you were doing that?
At the end of it, yeah. It was my retirement. I retired from music at 14 years old. And my retirement plan was to get punched in the head for a living. I was never professional, but I did have like a bunch of amateur fights, and I did spend 5 years getting, which ironically was good preparation for the music industry. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Well, fun, you know.
Yeah.
I learned about this thing called type 2 fun. Things that are only fun after the fact. I learned about that recently, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds accurate. Yeah, type 2 fun.
And music is type 1 fun. It's fun while
This
you do
is.
it, right?
Not all of them, so it makes me even
Okay.
more appreciative of shows like this. So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here and sharing your great songs. How did you get into songwriting? I know you played music when you were younger. That was probably more rock music, or
Yeah, well, my brother and I were like in punk rock and metal bands and stuff like that. And
were you writing your own material there, or?
yeah, I mean, it was exceptionally bad, but at least I had an excuse back then. You know, now that I'm in my 30s, not so much. But, yeah, it was, you know, like 12-year-old angsty nonsense. But it was, I'd always kind of listened to a lot of my parents. You know, I grew up listening to a lot of like folky, singer-songwriter, kind of, or like weirdly a lot of Elvis and the Everly Brothers and stuff like that. And so I always I learned to play on an acoustic guitar, and so it was always something that I was doing the whole time. And then I kind of just got burned out on playing that kind of music, and just decided, yes, it's time to ride high on the big folk dollar. So, yeah.
You made your way back.
Yeah.
I hear that melodic sense of some of those older artists in your songs.
Oh, that's a huge compliment. Those guys are great.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the metal music. And I was like, okay, oh yeah, okay, thanks.
What's your next song?
This song is called, well, originally the song was called Amazing Grace, and then my friend told me, I played it for him, and he was like, yeah, man, it's a nice song, but I don't think you can use the title Amazing Grace. It's already taken. And I explained to him that you can't copyright a song title.
Right.
But then and I was thinking I could get like, well, there's a lot of money in worship music. And I was like, maybe I could trick some people into like, But then I thought like, I don't know. So now it's called, actually one of my very first musical heroes as a child was Jimi Hendrix. As you can tell by my fret-burning, ripping guitar solos. But he has that, so this song is now called Amazing Grace, and in parentheses, Slight Return. Yeah.
I love this song. Please
Thanks.
share it with these folks.
The old man throws on yesterday's clothes, blows black and mild smoke through a busted nose. Trash is piling up behind a frozen pond. Thoughts come a-knocking, they never stay long. He shuts his eyes and sees the neighbor girl 100 feet away in a whole other world, waiting on the porch for her boyfriend Tucker. That boy Tucker, he's a real jerk. Tires screech and he squints his eyes, sees a lime green duster, straps on the side, and a red bumper sticker reading Rebel Pride. Tucker and the neighbor girl are going for a ride. They're off to the bars like the night before, and they'll come home and fight if they come home at all. The old man waves to catch the neighbor girl's eye. Tucker flips him the finger as they drive on by. Here we sit, amazing grace, a puzzled smile upon our face, running out of time, feeling out of place. Here we sit, amazing grace. Headlights splash across the old man's wall on the wrong side of Saturday night last call. It's too hot to sleep, too tired to dream. A car backfires and someone screams. He peeks through the blinds of the neighbor's house. The hall lights on, but the porch lights out. The concrete's cold beneath the old man's feet. The moon shines down on a dead-end street. Here we sit, amazing grace, puzzled smile upon our face, running out of time, feeling out of place. Here we sit, amazing grace. The cop takes a statement in a blue-lit haze. He's been fighting with his wife, hasn't slept for days. A bullet in the head is just a cry for help, so everybody figures Tucker shot himself. The neighbor girl still hangs out at the bar, and no one knows what happened to Tucker's car. The old man's yard still looks like hell, but it's a step up from a prison cell. So he keeps his mouth shut and she does as well. Amazing grace. Thanks, y'all.
The Martha Bassett Show comes to you from the Reeves Theater and Cafe, downtown Elkin's newly renovated landmark. Originally opened as an Art Deco movie theater in 1941, it was fully operational until 1973, and then restored and reopened in 2018. The Reeves Theater and Cafe is your location for farm-to-table dining in the heart of the foothills. Chef Pat creates exciting new menus each week, and the Reeves Cafe works with over 15 local farms. The Reeves Theater has a vibrant music lineup with amazing national, regional, and local artists. You can learn more at thereevestheater.com. Now let's get back to Ben de la Cour.
Hey, well, this is the bonus round. I didn't even know I had any more songs that I could play. How many of y'all were here for the first set? Okay, then I can't play those songs again? Okay, that's fine. I'll play the second part of my methamphetamine suite for you guys. I bought a new capo today because I lost my one. I got a green capo. It matches my nails. It's a good day. Auspicious, one may say. You know, I'm not going to play that song. I could do what I want. I got 15 minutes. I could just tell a long story. I won't tell a long story. And play a song. Just talk less, play more. I first heard the word of God when I was 8 years old. He told me to take a carving knife and hold it to my brother's throat. Ever since that day, I spent my whole life on the run. Running gets to be as easy as breathing when you're God's only son. I met Johnny in Arkansas. He told me he was full-blood Cree. Now I ain't the type to ask no questions, but he looked pretty white to me. He asked me if I ever robbed a bank before. I said not really, but I always figured knowing what you're doing brings the worst kind of love. And if the devil is 6 and God is 7, I guess that makes me 1. I'm gonna crawl my way back into heaven. I'm God's only son. Rolled up to the bank, rolled our hats down over our eyes. Johnny turned to me with a smile and said, "Today's a good day to die." And all of a sudden it got real cold and I heard that voice once more. And I saw the devil dancing in Johnny's eyes, so I shot him as he reached for the door. Double-crossed that county line, 2 hornets in a still. Johnny folded there in the backseat like a blood-soaked dollar bill. Let me tell you, getting gut shot ain't how it looks on screen. That whole car was shaking with screaming and crying, smelled like death and gasoline. And if the devil is 6 and God is 7, I guess that makes me 1. I'm gonna claw my way back into heaven. I'm God's only son. Rolled that car in Texas, outside of Eagle Pass. And God spoke to me as I lay there dying in a halo of broken glass. He said, me and the devil, we had us a game to see who would blink first. And I'll let you in on a secret while you're down there in the dirt. There ain't no heavenly host awaiting beyond that wall of sleep. But the devil is a hungry dog and he always plays for keeps. But if the devil is 6 and God is 7, I guess that makes me 1. I'm gonna claw my way back into heaven. I'm God's only son. Thank you. All right. So you guys like the dark ones, huh? All right, I got another dark one for you. This song upset my second ex-wife so much that we broke up shortly after. She said, Jesus Christ, thank God you stopped. Think I can get her right. I've been out here since forever. I told her, come on and get inside. We sat there for a second. I asked her which way we should go. She said, I don't care where you point this thing. Just get me out of Tupelo. She said, you must be a Christian. You seem like a good man. I said, I don't believe I'm either, but we're all doing what we can. It was cold as hell outside that night. The wind was wild with snow. It was Christmas Eve somewhere else, but not down in Tupelo. Tupelo. Said her daddy died in Memphis. He went out like the king, naked face down on a bathroom floor, probably never even felt a thing. As she smoked down her last cigarette, I felt the darkness grow. She said, I never knew it got so cold down there in Tupelo. Tupelo. I watched her eyes roll over white in the tangled seatbelt spider web and the blue-green dashboard light. Seems like everywhere you turn, your back's against the wall. Hell, if I could live again, I might not even live at all. Dumped the clothes behind a truck stop off of Highway 45. The snow was coming down so thick that it was hard to even drive. Some things you choose all by yourself, and some things they choose you. I guess it wasn't Memphis, but it was gonna have to do. We come into the world screaming, and that's how most of us will go. I've turned that car around and headed back down to Tupelo. Tupelo. Thank you. I got time for like one more. All right. Man, thank you so much to Martha for having me and her hot band, Pat and Sarah, and Russell, and also Sarah. Yeah, that was great. I'm gonna play. I got this new record that this is the first time I'm playing this song, so live. So, but it's gonna be on the new record. I already played all my happy songs, so I guess I'm gonna have to play this one for you guys. This one's called The Appalachian Book of the Dead. There's a sinkhole falling from the cold gray sky, where they scrape that trooper off the highway side to runaway convict kids on dope, they said. Cops flooded out the holler, dragged the river still. They never found them boys, and I doubt they will. Just another lonesome chapter in the Appalachian Book of the Dead. Where you gonna go when you can't go home? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Blood calls the blood, bone cleaves the bone. Where you gonna go when you can't go home? Winter came early, the cold wind blew, and my grandma painted her porch paint blue. That night in Yonah County, the corn moon turned blood red. Something cold is stirring at the bottom of the creek, where that little boy drowned back in '63. And the ink is running over in the Appalachian Book of the Dead. Where you gonna go when you can't go home? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Blood calls the blood, bone cleaves the bone. Where you gonna go when you can't go home? Buckshot rattling in a garbage pail, a sliver of truth dug into every tale, a weeping angel painted on a rusted shed. Dead hate the living, but what do they know? Just little white crosses on a county road. And they're writing out the legend in the Appalachian Book of the Dead. Where you gonna go when you can't go home? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Blood calls to blood, bone cleaves to bone. Where you gonna go when you can't go home? Thank you. Thank you.
Ben de la Cour. We're going to do our finale for you. And we want to, as we're all getting in place, we want to thank you for being with us here in person, and we want to thank all of those who are watching online and just making this such a special evening. We could not do it without you, and we are so happy to be here with you in this space. Thank you to the Reeves, and thank you to all of you and to all of these beautiful artists on stage. We're going to end with a Billy Joe Shaver song called Live Forever. 2, 3, 4.
Tomorrow now, you're gonna wanna hold me just like I always told you. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Nobody here will ever find me, but I will always be around, just like the songs I leave behind me. I'm gonna live forever now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now.
Your fathers and your mothers being good to one another. Try to raise your children right. Don't let the darkness take them. Don't let them be forsaken. Lead them safely to the light.
When this old world is blown asunder and all the stars fall from the sky, remember someone really loves you. We'll live forever, you and I. I'm gonna live cross that river I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now.
Thank you all for tuning in and to our beautiful live audience. Let's hear it for Ben de la Cour, Tui, that's Libby Whitener and Jake Blunt, and Sarah Kate Morgan. The band tonight was Sarah Kate Morgan, Russell Kelly, Sarah Howe Miller, and me, Pat Lawrence. We were led by our fearless leader, Martha Bassett. Our interstitial music tonight was composed by Russell Kelly. A big thanks to the Reeves Theater and the beautiful town of Elkin. Jeff Irving, Doug Williams of Electromagnetic Recorders, and Trevor Rowe handled the sound. Ben Singer and Eric DeLager provided our video broadcast. Nick Bassett managed the house, and Anna Haverluck and Julie Sutter sold the merch. Come back and join us next time. It's the Martha Bassett Show. Good music for good people. You all drive safe. Have a lovely evening.